Now, we talked about in environment how, the conditions that exist in an environment
Right.
are really important because, those are the conditions that the system must...
Is within, right.
Yeah, must exist within in order to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly self-perpetuating systems like living life forms
Yeah.
and businesses as well. You can think of a business as a self-perpetuating system. It exists, and it does things to keep itself existing, right?
Yeah.
And if the environment changes, then the system must change along with it.
Right, okay.
And that that idea is what's called a selection test, right?
Okay.
Okay, so a selection test is the environment when it changes.
Mm-hmm.
The things that can meet, or the systems that can meet that change, continue to exist, and the things that can't die.
Oh, it's
okay?
like Darwin.
Darwin.
Okay.
So a lot of people think of it as survival of the fittest, which is sort of true. The better way to think about it, or the more accurate way of thinking about it, is death of the unfit. Okay? There's some selection test.
Okay, so the selection test is who is unfit enough to die.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Who cannot meet the continued requirements for self-perpetuation.
Got it.
Okay? So, for example, a selection test that humans have, we need to have enough heat, we need to have enough food, water,
Yeah.
all of those, all of those things. If we don't have it, we die.
Right.
Okay? Selection tests for businesses are, we need to have customers, we need to bring in revenue, we need to bring in more than we spend,
Got it.
or the business dies.
Okay.
That's a selection test. Now, sometimes, and you think of it from let's say you create a product, like, the whole, when the iPod came out versus the Walkman and all those things. Consumers or customers, when they're deciding to purchase something, they have criteria
Right.
on what they choose to purchase. What's their best option? What are all the things that they could do? And when technology changes, which is an environmental change,
Yeah.
customer selection tests or criteria change too.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, used to be, if you wanted to take your music with you, you took along, your Walkman cassette player.
Right.
Or
your tapes.
your CD player.
Right.
So you had, this device about this big, and then you had, the more music you wanted to carry with you had to carry like binders
Yeah.
of physical discs, right? Very retro. Now, when the technology appeared to save music onto a very small hard drive, the environment changed.
Okay.
Okay.
Because people's values changed?
People wanted to have the ability to carry around, all this music in a much smaller format.
Right.
They always had the desire, it just wasn't possible.
Okay.
Technology changed the environment to make it possible.
Got it.
Okay? So what happened was the selection test for what portable music players continued to exist and which
Yes.
ones stopped being produced.
Got it.
It's relatively difficult to find a cassette Walkman right now. You probably can find them.
Right.
They're either used or they're not making very many. And they're certainly not selling many.
Right.
Because people are choosing different things.
Got it. Okay.
And, a good way of describing that is the way that Apple described the very first iPod spoke directly to the selection test, which was 1,000 songs in your pocket.
Right. Changed the priority. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Or the technology changed the environment,
Right.
which changed the priority, which changed what people wanted and what they would buy. This is where this starts to get a little abstract.
Yeah.
But it happens. There was a change in the environment.
Okay.
Change of the selection test. Changed which businesses thrived. Those that could meet it.
Yeah.
And which ones died.
Okay.
Those that could not.